Hey everybody, welcome to the Vitalyst Spark podcast. I'm your host, John Ford, and we're back with a mini-series of Minisodes featuring our recently awarded 2018 innovation grants. In May, we announced those 4 new funding partners. Throughout this mini-series, we're going beyond that single paragraph from the press release, thanks to time generously given when our new partners stopped by the Vitalyst Spark studios. Our promise to you, you'll learn about exciting projects and meet incredible people. And it'll all happen in about the space of your daily commute. So let's get to it. We're kicking things off today with Tucson's Flowers and Bullets Collective. Today we've got an amazing guest. His name is Jacob Robles. Jacob, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, John. I'm doing pretty good. Good to be here.
You are with the forever fabulous Flowers and Bullets Collective. Tell us a little bit about Flowers and Bullets.
Flowers and Bullets, it's a grassroots collective out here in Tucson. We work primarily out of Barrio Centro. It's a community here in the Midtown kind of area. And yeah, we're a sustainability and art collective. And so, we use art and sustainability to, engage our community, to organize around certain needs in the community. We provide resources, tools, to just simple stuff from gardening to, rainwater harvesting. We're also a collective of artists. So, a lot of us do murals, we make merchandise, and yeah, it's kind of a whole spectrum of things that we're up to here in the collective.
Yeah, so it's a shame you don't have much going on, huh? Let's start with the beginning, right? We've got this 10-acre vacant school property. And you're about to turn it into a sustainable, culturally relevant food production hub. How's that going so far?
So far, I mean, it's going to be a process for sure, but it's been we've been doing a lot of work there recently, and we're kind of going to start in phases. Brandon and I are like the lead kind of farm managers as of right now, and we've been doing community work days every other Saturday. And so we'll have the community come out and help us work on, whatever we're tackling that week. Some of the things that have happened so far are there was kind of a Ramada space that we're gonna kind of use as our meeting space and our tool room. So we kind of refurbished that whole space. We put a new roof on it. We had to rebuild some walls and redo some stucco and painted it. And it looks really nice now. It's very inviting. We also installed rain gutters on it, so we have 2 rain gutter cisterns that are connected to the Ramada. And then we just finished building a chicken coop that's kind of like complementary of the setup right there too. So on a whole 10-acre wide spectrum, it might seem kind of small, but it's been a lot of work, and I think it's a really good start.
What's the response been so far?
It's been good to see like just the neighbors when they see us working and they get really inspired, and we built some really good connections with the neighbors that live directly across the street. And so, I mean, they love when we're out there. They love to come and chat with us and see what we're up to. They help us out. Sometimes we might have to run an extension cord to their house. And yeah, it's been good to see them excited about something positive going on, and I think that's just, we haven't seen that in the neighborhood for so long. And you could feel their energy and their excitement when they see us working and we're dedicated, and it kind of makes them like, want to be involved and want to be around and build relationships. And so it's been good. It's been exciting for us too to see that.
Now, we're talking about the Barrio Centro neighborhood, and that has been your neighborhood all your life. In fact, you attended this school before it was closed, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me, how exciting is it to be doing this now? I mean, to really be transforming this area, and how does that feel, and what are you most looking forward to?
Man, it's so exciting. It's, I never would have thought we'd be doing that in that space. It's just been so much that has happened since I've been at the school, as a young kid, and then since the school's closed, and then kind of just going on my journey of activism and sustainability and ceremony, and to be able to come back here and start like implementing those things, it's almost surreal. It's almost like, damn, I can't believe we're doing this. And and just kind of mixing all those memories that I've had there with what I'm doing now in my life. And yeah, it's almost unreal sometimes. I have to really like sit back and appreciate how far it's come, and yeah, and just dreaming about what we want that space to be, and dreaming about how how much it's going to bring to the neighborhood in terms of just something positive, something healthy for the community.
So when I was there, a few months ago, I think you showed me around the property, and you showed me like, hey, here's the tree where you had to be if you were in trouble during recess, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's quite the life journey for you to be standing there now and transforming this property for the better of the community. You are, I know it's a collective, so I don't want to call you a leader, a major contributor to Flowers and Bullets. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, some of the, it was me and a buddy Tito and Dora Martinez that kind of really started implementing the work for the collective in the beginning.
So talk a little bit about the history of Flowers and Bullets, why it's called Flowers and Bullets, and really what future are you trying to make a reality in Barrio Central?
So, I mean, if you talk to any of the members, I feel like everybody kind of has their own explanation and relationship with what Flowers and Bullets means and that term and what it stands for. I think for me, when we first started talking about doing something, I mean, it initially started as Tito and I kind of making T-shirts. I come from a graffiti background. I was a graffiti writer growing up, and as I started getting into like activism and sustainability, I kind of wanted to use those, kind of those same skills and those same practices to just kind of reach the community that I wanted to reach. It was like a lot of the kids that I grew up with in the neighborhood. We wanted to send a message, and have them jump on board where we were at. Yeah, we came up with this concept, Flowers and Bullets, and it was a buddy of ours. He's a really big activist and community organizer for like the migrant justice community, and he used to sign his emails off like, oh, like peace, flowers and bullets. And for us it just kind of stuck, like this duality of where we're at and the work we do, and I always said like the flowers are like the art and the bullets are like the struggle. And it's kind of vague, but for me it was like, the flowers represent like, our culture, the beauty, the artistic expression, all that kind of we have. But then the struggle is kind of like what, our community space, which is a lot of drug abuse, prison, coming out of the prison system, a lot of domestic violence, just a lot of those symptoms of what I would say are like symptoms of colonialism. And it's kind of like, that duality in that struggle, and also as a resistance to that, that the bullets also, to me the bullets also represent a resistance to those things. And yeah, that's kind of where that concept comes from. And at the time we were making T-shirts, and we were also like, we had our gardens in our backyards, and we were farming and trying to like get in touch with our culture, some of our traditions, our indigenous concepts. And I mean, people started to come around, some of our friends, and they would ask questions like, hey, what does this all mean? Why are you guys growing corn? What are these T-shirts that you guys have been selling? Why does that relate to this? And I mean, that's pretty much how the a lot of the strong people in the collective that are leaders now came about to organize with us.
And you really can't be authentic to the experience of the neighborhood and your culture without acknowledging that duality, right?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of other spaces, like sustainability spaces, don't really acknowledge those things all the time. And so, I mean, not that they don't do good work, but I don't think you're gonna reach the audience that we're trying to reach if you don't acknowledge those things and you don't bring those questions up.
So part of your goals as a collective are really to tap into assets that other people are not, by way of being really truly authentic.
For sure. I mean, I have a lot of like visions for what that's gonna look like, or what I want the property to be. Ultimately, like there's no space like that, for our community, and there's similar spaces around town, but just specifically for our neighborhood, there hasn't really been any kind of positivity within the last 10, 15 years in that neighborhood, and we've seen a lot of, the effects of that, and a lot of drug abuse. There's people that are, a lot of our good friends are kind of on that path. And for us, a lot of that thing, and for me especially, a lot of those practices, a lot of, farming, getting in touch with your culture, working the land, just building community, it's like super, super healing work. It's helped me out on my journey to get to where I am, and it's still helping me out. So I'm just like, my like overall vision for that is that people have access to that, and they have access to come and feel what it's like to work with the earth, and to grow something, and to be connected to those things, and it might not save the entire world, but it might help, a few people out that are struggling, and that give them a sense of grounding and a sense of belonging somewhere. And that's what I hope for some of the things that we want to see there.
Well, clearly you got something going on really great, because from an idea and a couple of words, you now have the University of Arizona Community and School Garden Program engaged. You have the YWCA engaged. You've received a grant from Vitalyst Health Foundation, and you received an even bigger grant from the Howry Foundation. So something's working.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about those things.
You're just doing tremendous work, really incredible work. So if you were to have somebody from the neighborhood walk up to you right now who's not been engaged whatsoever in the collective, and they found you under the ramada on the school property, and they said, "Hey, what's going on here?" What would your response be?
It's kind of hard sometimes not to be like super overwhelming, explaining like what we're doing. I'll just tell them like, "Hey, we're a group here in the neighborhood. A lot of us grew up here. We're turning this space into a farm, We want a green space in the neighborhood. We don't want a green space to only be for certain communities. We want to be able to, have a sense of beauty around us. This lot's been vacant for years. There's the truck company right across. There's the planes flying over. We want to see stuff here. We want to see fruit trees here. We want to see people coming out and gardening here. People learning things, and it is, like I said, it's kind of hard to like drop a bomb on somebody, and we do it all the time. We come off as like the weird people sometimes to our friends, but I think once they see the bigger picture, and once they start seeing like the fruits of all the labor that we've been doing, it changes how they feel about things, or like they get it.
The city of Payson has a community garden for its entire city, and the slogan of that garden is "Where the community grows." And and when I think of that slogan, I certainly think of what you're doing at Julia Keene Elementary School.
For sure, yeah. It's so much beyond just growing food and that kind of thing. It goes so far beyond just that. It is building community. It is reconnecting with people. It is building relationships. And I think that's like, the bigger goal of what we envision for the work we're doing. Like the food is kind of just the excuse, we like to say, to have those conversations about tough stuff, or to bridge communities together. And it's the food's just an excuse.
If you were to work through this site and this project to heal 1, 2, or 3 different aspects of your current neighborhood experience, which one of those things would you be aiming for?
A lot of the issues that are going on, like with the drug abuse and the violence, they stem from something, something deeper, and sometimes it's not feeling connected to something bigger, or not seeing like something positive, or not feeling that feeling. It's those kind of things are like coping mechanisms. It's definitely that feeling of just not belonging, or not feeling a sense of worth. And I think that takes a toll, and it leads to these things. And a lot of times, like, our community just doesn't know, like some of the friends that that are struggling out there that we have, they just, they've never been exposed to anything like this. They've kind of just been exposed to all the things I mentioned above their whole lives, and that's just kind of the way we grew up thinking that's how life is, and it's not until you really like step out of the box or see things from a wider lens that things click, and so I think just if we could do that, with some people, I think that'll mean the world to me. I think that's where it's at, and the rest will follow. We don't have all the tools to do everything to heal everybody or to get everybody off of drugs or whatever. But if we could, like we're farmers, if we could plant those seeds in people, those pathways will open up, to where they need to get their healing from, the things that they need.
I just can't tell you how grateful we are as a foundation to have been lucky enough to get connected with you and have the chance to support you. So congratulations. We're very excited. We look forward to doing more with you. We look forward to checking in with you and seeing how things go on the farm.
Yeah, for sure. We really appreciate y'all's support. I mean, we couldn't have done it without that kind of teamwork and support from people and organizations. And yeah, we're excited too. We're excited to start seeing these phases, change and grow and be able to be models, even for other people that are wanting to implement similar types of things in their communities.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for taking the time to talk with us at the Vitalyst Spark. More importantly, thanks to the entire Flowers and Bullets Collective for doing great community building work and contributing so artfully to community health and well-being. That's it for this Minisode miniseries episode 1. Stay tuned. Episode 2, featuring the White Mountain Apache tribe, is headed your way next. To make sure you get it, reach into your podcast app right now and subscribe to the Vitalyst Spark. As always, remember this: with great responsibility comes great power. We'll see you back on the road to well-being soon.